a while. I need to start picking that up a little bit. But I was supposed to be at work today, but my wife had to go to the doctor and have some shots in her neck and back. So I ended up having to take the day off. So I'm sort of keeping an eye on her, making sure she stays down. But out here in the yard watching the bees. And if you haven't seen some of my videos lately, I've been doing a little bit of work trying to get them to hey Grayson, figured you'd be on here, trying to get them to resolve. So right now I have 5 hives, and out of the 5 hives, 2 of them are waiting on queens to be hatched and return. But I tried a cloak board on the one on the left here, which is the original May hive, which is actually now the May 3. May 2 is on the right, which is a nuke. But I had put a cloak board originally on top of that with another box. If you've seen any of my videos, you'll see that. So what I'm doing today is collecting some pollen off of these girls. Yeah, I've got eight cells. When I did that, as I was getting to doing that cloak board, they started making. I put some brood up in there and some open larvae in the cloak board, and they started making a couple queen cells originally. So what happened is that they ended up being 3 on that one frame when I took and moved it to the backyard. And then yesterday I was taking a look at it when I got home and found I have 8 more queen cells in there that I'm going to have to cut off the frame. And probably I've been talking to Lisa. I'm going to trade her some queen cages for some roller cages so I can go and incubate them in the cloak board scenario again, because there's no more open brood, to go and incubate them so that when they hatch they can be taken care of. And I'll possibly make another 5 splits off of them and then sell the rest of them. I'll have 3, well, maybe 4 splits. Then I have 4 and 4. Sell 4 virgin queens and see what we can do with that, because I sort of hit the jackpot on that one trying. But I wasn't sure what to do with it at first. And I'm like, well, I ain't got nowhere to put all these girls. Yeah, you're making progress, Grayson, that's for sure. But my girls are they really don't like that pollen trap on the front, Grayson. I like it, but they don't know quite how to work with it. I used it a couple months ago, collected up some pollen in January, and now I'm doing it again. And these girls probably have never been in it, so it's a learning process for them. And it's probably full of pollen today, because that hive was just bumping. I got a super on top already, and they're starting to pull it out. Let's see here. I'm gonna go in my backyard real quick. Show you what I got going back here. I got those 9 cells in there. Well, 8. Actually 11, but I'm gonna leave 3 in it. Let them duke it out for who's gonna be queen in that hive. I got another one that's I threw brood in it yesterday to try to boost the numbers in the nuke. Because they're building for a queen, or have a queen cell in there. So I stuck some more brood in the hive, or I should say the nucleus. But Holly, she's too deep in just about pulled everything out, and it's running probably about 7 frames of brood, which is giving me adequate supplies to be able to go and do splits if I so desire. This is where we're at now. This hive here has got the 11 cells in it. They're just capped. This is one working on a cell right now too, and I had to add extra brood to her. And the one in the back, that's my holly hive, late October swarm, and they're 2 deep and just kicking it. They are really working it. They're bringing nectar from somewhere because they're not on my sugar. So you know, they're doing pretty good. This is future spot for some more. Yeah, picture some more hives, at least, or maybe nucleuses over here. But that's what we're looking at right now. I think these girls are going over to my neighbor's yard, which has the holly. Let me go there and see if the trees are full over there, because it's usually about like this time of year or late March. That holly tree is just slammed full of foragers. That's how I knew we had bees in our area. That's the only place I really saw them, other than on my red maple. So let me go over here and take a look at that. So how's everybody doing up in here? It looks like we got 2 people. Yeah, I see Grayson was here. So if you want to see, ask questions if you want. Just out here trying to be the lighthouse. That's a reference to the stream team. But the holly trees, because they're not really bushes. They are actually trees. And the girls, oh yeah, I can hear them buzzing. I don't know if you can see them, but I can hear them buzzing. They're checking this out. They're collecting. Yeah, I see silhouettes everywhere. They're doing a number. These things are about, I guess about 20 foot high. These holly trees. But it's the holly tree. It's not the traditional Christmas holly you would see with the multi-pointed leaves. These girls are, oh, that's a wasp. That ain't a girl. Don't want to grab that. I don't want that hurts more than a bee sting by a long. We are I'm sorry guys. I hope I didn't just too comment. But these girls on it right now as they were last year. So maybe it'll take a little more blooms to come out for them to do as you can see here too, I put on my neighbor's porch, I put a swarm trap to see if we could try to catch us a little something. And it's got swarm rustler in it. And it's got a couple frames, some nasty, picking this out later. We can find out that it's my chat stuck there. I don't see any more. You guys can see some of the side yard over here too, guys. I've got some wisteria out of control. It's taking over the hedge line, the neighbor's yard. So I got to get over here and do some cut back with my chainsaw and stuff. The fence line's underneath all that. The bumblebees and my tallow, one of my tallows. We got 7 or 8 tallows in this yard now. So as you can see, my yard isn't all kept up like I should have it. I've been behind on a lot of things. Stuff I got to trim out from along the side of the house. My blackberries at the end of the trailer. But this yard's a lot better shape than it was when I first took over. This place was a jungle. So hey Mike. I'm getting a lot of lag. Yeah, it's probably because of the network around here lately. I don't know what the deal is. Either that or I'm just about the max of my well, I have unlimited data. It's just that I'm at the max that they like you to use. Now I'm coming in here. This is where I will excuse the mess. I've been building. It's got wax stuff here. I got a swarm box that I'm working on. A couple poly nukes, pro nukes underneath it. Gonna hang this out in the woods somewhere. I got a couple. I've even got saws, my grills. It's a mess right now. I've been letting it go. Been busy. This is the only time I've had off of work, other than the weekend, and I'm full of work to do. But this is one of my little, what Bob lovingly refers to as a insurance plan. And it is so insured that the bees, my hive went and decided she wanted to go and swarm, just took off, went flying right by it. It's where I caught the October swarm at. Do I have any Wi-Fi? Yes, I do. I had to come back over here up under my shed because I've been looking to get a Wi-Fi 6 access point, and I haven't done it yet. Wi-Fi 6 would give me a stronger signal. Right now I'm under full bars of Wi-Fi. So is that any better, Mike? Is he better? I don't know. But like I was telling Grayson earlier, I've got 11. I use that cloak board on the May hive, trying to create some cells because I needed some queens. And for one of my nukes, because I accidentally was going to try to just queen the one up top, and then every time I put any kind of frame up top, they would with open larvae they'd cap everything. So I went digging and found one that had as young as I could find, still had eggs standing. And I put the frame in there, and I ended up pulling some extras. I was like, well, I didn't need all that, so I'll set you in the back with some more larvae in the back, and then in that little nucleus hive. Quilt border, but double screen. Yeah, I thought about double. I tried double screens when I had a hive that was weak, and that worked. But I found that this quilt, not the quilt board, but It's a cloak board. I got it from Man Lake, and let's see here if I can get this up here for you guys to see. It's basically similar to a double screen board, but what it is put in the hood of my truck here. What it is basically a queen excluder on a bottom board that has a metal plate that you pull off. So you got a metal plate and a queen excluder, which acts as like a screen board. And what I done was put it between a queen right hive and let all the bees come up to the brood up top. So I shook everything down, let the queen, everything in the bottom, shook everything down, let them come back through the excluder. And the next morning, I slid tray in, therefore causing it to be queenless. And this is how I end up pulling 11 queen cells. So I had the dilemma yesterday. I was trying to figure out what to do with 11 because I can actually make 4 or 5 splits with the equipment that I have on hand. So it's similar to a screen, the bottom board. The dilemma was I had all these cells, and I only needed, 3 were on one. They're all connected together. I can't separate those, so that left me with 8 extras. I'm gonna have to leave the 3 in the hive to let them duke it out. But the other 8, I'm putting queen rollers and put that cloak board back on and have the top one of the hives put that board in there and have them take care of them. So basically a queen right finisher without the metal plate in it to take care of them, and then sell ones I don't use. So I got enough and resources with the May hive and the Holly hive that I can go and I know I can make 4 splits, 2 off of each one easily. I don't want to deplete them too hard before the flow comes, because I have the Holly hive, the May hive's already got supers on it and they're starting to fill it. The Holly hive, she's just laying crazy. She got like I'm thinking 7 or 8 from the last time I looked, 7 or 8 frames of brood already. So they're getting ready to bust and fill up that hive anyway. So I think I'm pretty good to go with a couple frames of brood and some food and 4 nucleus. And that put me up to 9 hives waiting. And when the queens hatch, I'll just have to wait for them to come back. Hey, DC, wait for them to come back mated. So I think I'm in pretty good shape as far as that goes. And then anything can happen to one of my other queens, and I can just drop one of them virgin queens in, and actually take over the situation. So that's my plan at the moment. I didn't intend to be this high, this many hives this quick. I only had 2 coming out of winter. So DC, what did you? I was going to ask you the other day, but I wasn't sure. Did you lose all your bees? or are you just ordering more to build up? Did I lose everybody or what? Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't know you actually had lost them. So you're starting all over again. Well, I was lucky and I came through. I thought I had 3. Ended up with 2 still. And now I'm at 5. And it's looking like maybe in about a week to 10 days, I'll probably be at 9. But like, anything can happen between now and then. Ten-frame deep 3-way queens. Yeah, that's true. You if you wanted to do it in smaller increments. All right, so that's going to give you what? Coverage radius. All right, so it's going to give you 7, and you at least have time to build them up before winter. You've got the new stands with the windbreaks on them. You might stand a better chance this year keeping them dry and keeping them out of the wind. You need to do a video on what, Mike? Oh, the 3-way 10-frame queenie supers, mating supers. How in the world did you lose 16 deeps of drawn comb? Moth damage? Hey, Philip Morris. How things going with you out there? Oh, you have 16 deeps of, okay, pre-drawn code, okay. Well, 5, it's 50. Well, if you're gonna go 10 deeps with these nukes, you're getting DC. You're gonna have to have at least 70 frames. Cause you can probably checkerboard and yeah, that's possible. You guys are, spring is a little bit is still coming on, so it's possible. No, I understood that, Mike. I thought he was saying he had lost 16 frames. Only left, out of it. That's what I thought he had said. I didn't know he said he had. That's what he had 16 deeps of frames. I thought I lost all of them, the frames, which I was thinking maybe wax moth. I misunderstood. But yeah, I sort of wish I had that many frames available. I've got I'm on the low side of frames. I may have to start using some of my super frames, not super, but super frames in deeps. Yeah. Well, Philip, I wish I could cut my grass, but I had to replace one of the pulleys on my deck of my lawnmower. The bearings blew out and the blade is wobbling everywhere. Ain't working worth a darn. Well, I was figuring, Mike, if you're in that situation with that many, even if you got draw and frame, to try to get those bees to pull out more, so you have some more in the wings, just for the splits, for whatever you need to do. That's what I was thinking. Is put some you may not checkerboard all of them, but put some in the hives and give it a pull of them. And as soon as they get them pulled, you replace them. I keep forgetting you're up north. I'm lucky I've got half an acre. I wish I had more, Philip. DC, you say that, but then you start, like I just started seeing that with what's been going on with me, that you think you got enough equipment in case you have something come up, and then something comes up that you weren't looking for, and then now the equipment you have is now gone, and you have to end up replacing it or adding more to it. So, that's what I've been looking at here in the next couple of days. I'll probably be no deep frames, no nukes, and no spares. Put it that way. I have them, and probably using some of my super frames to fill that out, as with the deeps that I've got. Yeah, I remember you saying that, Mike, in one of the shows or streams that you actually had it had been raining and there was water on top of the ice and you saw the ripples of the water on the ice. I think that'd been an interesting sight to see. Uh, Probably been a good video. Mike, isn't that what a snow blower is? Mowing your snow? Just so you can function? That's for sure, Mike. Never enough woodware. And I'm just now seeing it. I'd heard people talk about some of it, but the people who talked about it were talking about the exponential growth, were people who are in the sideliner to commercial. So I'm like thinking, I ain't gonna see that for a long time. And here I am, second year, from 2 hives to 5, possibly 9 here shortly. So the exponential jump is there for everybody. Or in DC's case, exponential loss as well. You know, I've been trying to build up. I've been building. I built a couple of wooden nukes out of scrap plywood and stuff, and it looks like I'm gonna be using them. Ooh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The exponential loss, even though you had the hardware, still to take care of them. Now you have the hardware to do it again, and I'm trying to get these bees to a point that they pay for themselves instead of me digging in my pocket. Because that's what I've been doing since I started with them, was digging in and looking for ways to cut corners and still try to do things right. And yeah, but the question would be, you say you might have gotten a few things wrong, but did you learn what those might be by reevaluating is the other thing. And yeah, Justin, and you going from 10 to 30? I can see it being done. Because like I said, now I'm sitting at 5 from 2. And have 8 more queen cells I got to work with. But I don't think I'll be able to use all of them. I may end up giving 3 away. 3 or 4 of them away, and then just stopping at 9 for a moment until I get some more equipment. Which I'm going to have to do probably in the next couple of months anyways, because of those, if they grow they're going to grow during the flow, so which means through the end of May, probably middle of May through June, they're going to jump on me. So that means I'm going to have to get my butt in gear and get some more 10 frame equipment to get them into, or just taking the nukes and building supers for them, or nuke boxes so that I can put frames in. Yeah, I thought, and this year, I mean, I can see it now because it started in January for me. So with Holly having to split her, I put her into a bigger box, and then I had checked another hive, and it's got cells in it and ready to swarm, and made the mistake on that I realized about 3 days later why I lost the swarm. is because I said taking the queen out and setting her into a split by herself and then taking the eggs and working them. I went the other way around. So that was a lesson learned pretty quick. Yeah, and budget is a thing too, Mike. Budget definitely is a thing, and but I ended up getting a Cobalt table saw, 10-inch table saw, for like $112 from some guy on Marketplace, and started slapping some stuff together. And the first few pieces looked like crap, but then they started coming together looking better because I started figuring things out on the table saw. So I mean, that is another road travel, trying to figure that stuff out. But my girls, they seem to not like my pollen trap that well, guys. Yeah, that's true too. Or I could make some money off these splits and keep my numbers low and make the sell these splits as nukes. Get them to pull out some, keep them around long enough to fill out the frames and sell them. And what's funny about this last year, spring took forever to come on. This year, spring seemed to have started early, but it's been acting really funky because we were having swings in temperatures here, and it probably isn't anything like you guys up north, but we were having rain and cold weather for the weekends, and then during the week it was like in the 60s and 70s during the day, and then drop back down to freezing and stuff during the weekend, and raining, and it was a little weird. Yo-yo beekeeping, yeah. Loss to growth ratio. But what I'm hoping is, because I thought I had things together because I figured out how to take those two swarms and make it through the winter with those two swarms. I thought I had stuff together, and then all of a sudden, it seemed like the wheels fell off for a few weeks because of the one swarmed, and then I didn't see any eggs in 3 hives, and it's like, what in the world is going on? And I was trying to figure it out, and in the process of working through it and figuring it out, they threw me a curveball and started pumping out eggs again, and started booming again. Now the dado blades on that table saw, I had to pay $50 for the dado blades. So that wasn't the price of the saw itself. That was separate from that. I paid more for the dado blades than or half the price of the saw was for the dado blades. But the guy had them, and I took them. And apparently he's been using them because they're the way their saw's set up. So I've got dado blades to figure out. I've been looking at a router shaper table for $119, brand new. Granted, it's Harbor Freight. I don't know how long that'll last, but we could try it and see. Because I think all I'd have to do is change out the motor, get a better, a better router, and change out the motor, if that's the case. Something goes to it. Yeah, that's the next one too. New saw blade. Cause I've dulled out the one I have. Well, the guy was using it before, so it probably was going dull, and I finished it off. But I've also seen too where someone's taken them the blades and rinsed them in alcohol and stuff to clean off any resins that were on the saw blade, and they work a lot better too after that. Yeah, the Cobalt one I got is sort of portable. It's not battery operated, but it's portable. It folds up. It's like a job site one, which is pretty nice. I can put a full sheet of plywood on it. It's got the runners on it to hold the plywood from dropping when you cut it. I mean, it's pretty good little saw. I stopped using the tape on the side of it and using a regular tape measuring from the blade to the gate. Started getting better cuts. Someone gave me a miter saw that was, old Black & Decker. Haven't used it yet, but it's an old model, old Black & Decker. So what'd you have surgery on, Mike? Now, what I'd like to learn out of all this too would be using the table saws, building my own frames. So all I have to do is buy the inserts. Just in for lunch. Yeah, I had to come up with it because I had to be playing hooky today to keep an eye on my wife because she had some shots done to her today. Well, Philip, if he's going in for a mustache reduction, he should have had some of that hair transplanted on the top of that head of his. Now the question I ask about that uh, would be, um, a lot of them you buy have that small tapered end on them. Do they actually have to have that? Because if that's the case, then I think they taper them like that just so that the bottom is narrowed. But do you actually have to have those things tapered like that? Would be a question I don't know the answer to. And I figured that'd be no big issue, DC. I got some 2x4s. They're all cedar, um, which surprised me because they're in pallets. I tore up some pallets and found out building some stuff that it was all cedar. Okay, so it's more an aesthetic to help the bees get around the hive. Okay, it's not that you actually have to have them. So that's where a miter saw table would help to shape those. Uh, she's doing all right. She's been laying down, Mike, just relaxing because she had the procedure done about 2 hours ago. Okay, you can make that curve on a table saw. That's interesting to know. I'm just starting to play with the table saw, so I'm not really. Straight cuts is all I ever known on a table saw. So it requires a jig. Okay. That'd be nice. Have a good video on that. Shoot, Grayson, as far as that goes, 3D printing, you probably be able to print the whole, like those solid plastic Purco frames. But I think you'd run, they're still going to be more expensive, in the long run. Because you're going to run through a lot of filament to build those frames, and as thick as you need them to be. And that filament, so you can get some cheap filament. But now the next question would be on the filament, is that a plastic that those bees are going to accept? It smooths the operation, Mike. My temperature right now is probably right around 78 to 80 degrees. With a light and variable cool breeze, keeping myself comfortable under the shade. I'm gonna have to check into the price of a jointer. And it's the first time I've seen Khalid. I don't know, I probably murdered his name, I'm sorry. Yeah, my wife was asking me the other day, talking about that, DC. She says, well, how many hives you have in the yard now? Because before she was telling me, oh, you're only putting 3 in the yard. I said, well, you see, the 2 places we have right there. I said, right in those 2 places, we have five colonies going. And she looked at me and she's like, when she went on, didn't say nothing else. Oh man, if 36 degrees Fahrenheit, full sun, you probably should be out there in the shorts, Mike. Because if it was 16 degrees where I was in Minot, that was comfortable, man. It's full sun, no wind, 16 degrees. You go outside in flip flops and shorts and tank top. But when that wind picked up, it was a different story. You had to go and haul butt inside. I went screaming like a little girl. And I ain't ashamed to say it. So Khalid, what do you, how many hives do you have? And where exactly are you from? What else is going on here? Not a whole lot other than the fact that I was sort of panic stricken, like I said yesterday, when I found out I had 11 queen cells, and 8 of them I need to do something with, and didn't have a clue which direction to go with it. And everybody been talking about raising queens, and I wasn't trying to start, and I ended up doing so. And now I'm just gonna let them hatch and do something with a few of them, and either give away or sell the rest of them as virgin queens. Yeah, that's a good temperature. A good question for Khalid. Saudi Arabia, whoo. Dry but balmy. 113 degrees. I'm being facetious, guys. Man, I try to keep all my blackberries around. I love blackberries. I may even try, if I get some good honey this year, and some of it goes and crystallizes, I may make some creamed honey with blackberry infused cream honey. It is a thought in my mind. That's why I love my blackberries, man. Yeah, I find it interesting that the last few times I've been on live, I've had I had the Australian beekeeper last time I was on, and now I have Khalid from Saudi Arabia. It's sort of interesting. I end up drawing some international people every now and again. Okay, I see. I can understand that. I thought you were mowing to get rid of all of them, is why I thought you were doing DC. I'm also even considering too, trying to see how I can distill down the essence of my lilac tree, because the flowers you're supposed to be able to make a tea out of. So maybe I may be able to distill that down, or make it a way I can put it into honey and have a lilac flavored honey. Is another idea that I've had. See, that's the thing about the ideas. I get so many of them that you never even get to all of them. Yeah, DC. Last time you showed a video, I saw you'd made some headway in your bee yard. The last time I saw a video with the shelters and stuff, and that was looking pretty good. Hey, Michael, welcome to the Lost in the Afternoon chat, I guess you'd call it. I don't do this often in the middle of the day. I'm not like Bob every 5 minutes on the live. Just joking. See you later, Brad. So what's been going on with you, Michael? You're not late. This wasn't anything scheduled. Talking about batteries, I don't even know where I'm at on my battery. I probably ended up dying. Oh, 36%. I better plug in myself. Or we'll have a disappeared view. Research in your head. Okay. Do I have it connected? Yeah, it's connected. Later, Mike. Oh, Lord, you gonna have electricity? What, are you gonna put heaters on them girls out there or what, DC? Yeah, I hope you feel better too, Mike. Yeah, surgery in that abdomen area is not fun. I've had umbilical hernia repair years ago, and it wasn't any fun. Hey, DC, you thought about getting yourself one of them 250-gallon containers at the top of your hill and fill that sucker up there, run some PVC pipe down and hook a regular garden hose up to the other end of it and have that water gravity fed down that hill to your apiary instead of running, you actually even have it set up because you're in Washington, it probably rains all the time. Have it fill up with gutter water from the side of your house. Get that rainwater, and because I have, well, the reason I ask that is because here I've got a contact where I can get those 250-gallon containers for free because I know somebody with that runs an oil company, or is a they don't run it. They're IT for them, but what they store in their yard, they use the DEF, and DEF is completely natural. It's cow piss and water is what they use as DEF for when they burn it with a diesel fuel. So all it had to do is rinse out those containers and to be able to reuse them. and that was sort of my thought. But I'd have to find or build something strong enough to hold 250 gallons of water off the ground to get gravity fed from where I'm at. 'Cause I really don't have any natural grade to run gravity feed through. No. That's the only thing that I could use off of their yards would be those DEF containers, because it's the only thing. It's all natural. Everything else petroleum based. So that's what I'll be looking at here soon. Yeah, I don't know what kind of oil company, because the name of the company here is called Home Oil. It's a local. Well, I say local, but it's in the tri-state area here. And their main office is here in the town I live in Dothan. If you find some place that does that, like has little gas stations and hobo pantries, and they sell gas and supply like small tanks. Our company actually has a fuel tank in the back. They come and fill up so we can keep our vans filled. It's some little company like that, that's that has that, and they don't really have anything they could do with it other than trash them or trying to find a way to get rid of them. And if a company that they're dealing with doesn't take back, say like a deposit type deal, where you buy a soda, used to buy a soda in a glass bottle, you pay a 5-cent deposit extra for that bottle, and then when you come back, you bought a new soda, you didn't have to pay it, you just turn back in that bottle. That's and I've even thought about seeing if I had a better place to put them, going and start stockpiling and turn around and selling them for a little bit, because that way I can make a little income for the bees. Well, sometimes I think about things I try to think of things in a way to where it's not going to cost me more than I need to pay for something, and be more on a natural foothold as I can get. It doesn't mean everything. I'm not saying everything I do is completely biological, biodegradable, eco-friendly, but for the most part, I try to limit my footprint as far as just out of responsibility as a human being, limit to what waste I have. I try to anyways. Sometimes that stuff get away. It's like even with my trash, I don't actually go and sort everything like I should. We don't have a recycle setup here. But what I try to do is take my paper trash and burn it, and everything else goes in the can. Now, if I had chickens, my food scraps would go out to chickens or pigs or something, but I don't have those right now. That would probably increase, decrease my dumping by a long shot. And it looks like I'm losing people here, so I'm gonna call it now, I guess. And it's been a good day, good afternoon. I've had some good chat with you guys. Until next time, like I always say, be good, behave, and beehive. Later, folks.